that the Magpies are forced to the boundary line. The Hawks will own the corridor. They're happy for the opposition to get the ball as long as it's near the boundary line where they can't do too much damage. Again, an example of it.
Lockyer short to Johnson. He kicks for Cloak. Beautiful pass. He's got it on the second bite. Cloak switches into the corridor. Young back with courage. Couldn't take the mark. Brown tries to bust his way through the pack. Here's an opportunity for Clark. He has kicked the goal for the Maggies.
Silly free kick in the end. He had the contest won. He didn't need to make high contact. Costly stuff.
Gee, Collingwood getting numbers back in front of Buddy Franklin. Josh Fraser's back there to help Nathan Brown out. And the Hawks will go across the ground. They do this very well. They'll just swing it from one wing to the other and then try to find someone inside the forward 50.
This is Jordan Lewis. Goes short to Young. Back to Jew. He knows a thumping kick. He unloads from 65. It's a monster.
Well, that man on screen there, Stewie Jew, he's come back after an extended layoff with a hamstring. That is exactly what he was recruited to this club to do. Kick long goals from outside 65. Throughout his career, he's done that better than just about anyone. I've been really impressed with the way he's come back into AFL footy. He looks fit again. Well done.
And the Hawks set that up so very well. Collingwood had the numbers back and they just possessed it until they got it in the hands of the man.
Don't know quite what that was for, but it ends up with Johnson. Advantage towards Maxwell. His battle there with Birchall. Maxwell to the front. Is he being held? No. Now he's got a problem. Handball out towards Davis. The electrifying Davis. Look how he's kicked a beauty. Quick reply by the Magpies. A very dangerous player, Leon Davis, inside attacking 50. Collingwood by 3 points.
Good contest, Wolsey, from Nick Maxwell here. Kept his feet really well against Birchall. Watch again, could have gone to ground. And as I said, just managed to make sure the footy stayed in the air. And Leon Davis, he loves that situation.
Stager did it beautifully. Just held him up. Rioli's in there. So's Heathshaw. Here's Williams. Good tackling by the Magpie defence, forces the spillage, and Goldsacks away for Collingwood. But the kick goes straight down the throat of Brent Guerra. And what will he do with it? He kicks to the boundary line and finds McGlynn. He'll straighten up and find Jared Roughhead, who'll have his third goal.
Good player.
You're right, Luke, and Roughhead's playing further out from goal. That won't help the veteran Wakelin, his opponent.
Converting at 60% this year, 18-14.
Tackle that will give him plenty of confidence.
There's a tackle stat for the match. Collingwood have had 12, Hawthorn 5. Hawthorn are the second best tackling team in the comp, so they're down a bit at the moment.
Clearance for Collingwood. O'Brien bangs it on the boot. Birchall couldn't take the mark, but he did well in the end. Guerra by hand to Ladson, puts him under the pump somehow. Got boot to ball, and it was an effective kick to Young, who's a thumping kick, as we know. He goes into the pocket to Williams.
Provide something different, and I love this man in the forward line. He's so hard to match up on with his electrifying speed.
About 3 years ago, Luke, he was their leading goal kicker. That was before Roughhead and Franklin emerged.
It's a good looking kick. It's a goal. The Hawks get their third.
The Hawks have had 20 disposals inside that centre square to Collingwood's 4, which just indicates how wide the Hawks are forcing the Magpies.
Great tap from Campbell to Hodge, non-dominant side, right foot is superb. Great goal from Luke Hodge.
Well, there's a left footer kicking with the right foot, Rob.
Just amazing.
They won't be happy about that, Collingwood, because Hodge was forward of the pack, and a great tap set him away from Robert Campbell. And what a finish, Rob.
Just amazing. It was just amazing. We were sitting right behind. It's a perfect hit. He's a left footer, but he's got confidence to go on the right. Speared it hard.
So throw in deep in Hawthorn's attacking territory. Oh, Pendlebury was slow. He was slow, and And Surioli's got the free kick. And Surioli will go back from only 20 metres out on a slight angle, and he should kick Hawthorn's fifth.
How good is this bloke? Cyril, junior boy Rioli they call him, and he averages 5 tackles a game. Come into AFL footy, he looks like he's been playing for about 6 years. He looks so comfortable.
8-4 this season for junior boy. Free kick going Hawthorn's way. A bit stiff there, Pendlebury.
Look, Collingwood's a tough, hungry team, but I don't think there's any team in the competition as desperate as this Hawthorn side.
It's a dangerous kick from Sewell. It came off, though, Hodge on the left. It's an inside-out kick. It's a good effort. It's a goal! What a kick from Hodge. He's got 2. It was an inside-outside job, Robert.
Have a look at this check side effort from Luke Hodge. We're speaking about the amount of left footers. He summed that situation up and bananaed it from 50. How do you get that much purchase on a kick? That going slight foot goals earlier today.
He is a star.
He is in awesome form. Fraser, brilliant tap down to Davis. Kick towards Cloak. At the back, chance for Medhurst. Oh, has he tackled too long? Yes, free kick. And Medhurst will kick from 45. Just got that habit of marking the mark. And he'll go back and kick for goal. And gee, do Collingwood need one? They've been completely outplayed by Hawthorn.
Good matchup for Campbell Brown. I think he's suited to the smalls, isn't he? Because we know he can do the job at times on the big bodies. But you earn every kick against Campbell Brown.
One of the stars to feature next week in the Hall of Fame game. Campbell Brown. But Medhurst with the footy. From 45, nice relaxed kicking style, and he's kicked Collingwood's third.
Magpies clear, but not for long. Smart by Birchall in the middle of the ground. Now he goes out wide to Lewis, who'll give it off to Crawford. Crawford took on Davis, and now he kicks it long, hoping for a Hawthorn mark. And it is a Hawthorn, almost to Franklin. Williams around the corner. It's a goal anyway. Well, I thought Franklin snaffled that one, but sitting at his feet was Williams, who kicked a nice goal.
Well, if Buddy doesn't get it, Williams will. This is good play by Crawford. Just straightens up and then decides to kick it long to give the big fella a chance. Well done by Buddy Franklin to come back into heavy traffic as well. And you can see there a couple of Magpies, and gee, that was snared beautifully by Mark Williams and put on the right boot over the
centre of the ground. Something they haven't done for the whole game. Only way for them to get back is to be bold and take a few risks, Collingwood.
Jordan Lewis. Oh, well, they're dicing the death at the moment. The Hawks' last 2 or 3 forays back into the corridor have seen them turn the ball over. So perhaps the Magpies are playing that tactic a little bit better now as the ball goes back inside 50 for Collingwood, and the mark's taken by Lockyer. Averaging 22 touches a game this season. In he comes, kicking from about 45 metres out. And it's a goal. 4 straight to the Pies.
He goes short to Jew, who's got it 60 from goal, and the crowd urging him, Rob, to have a go.
Guerra to Jew. Guerra came from Port Adelaide. Jew came from Port Adelaide, where they were both coached by Alistair Clarkson. He knows their kicking capabilities. That's why he's brought them into this team, and he's capable of kicking this goal from 60 out.
It's a monster. Loads up. Times it pretty well as it got the carry to land in the goal square. Big fist from Wakeland, still in play. Shaw tries to shovel it out. Roughhead's got it. Was he tackled high? He was. Just can't afford to give those sort of free kicks away.
It's an amazing quarter, Luke, because I reckon the game swung Collingwood's way and they've had more possession of the ball. But as we near half-time, if Roughhead kicks this, it's 3 goals to 2, and Hawthorn are still going to win the quarter.
So Roughhead, well, he's from 10 metres.
I think he's missed.
No, it's a goal, Rob.
Hawks lead by 27. Mitchell, another disposal. Taylor, he's dropped the ball there. In fact, holding the ball is the correct terminology. And it's 50. And it's shot coming up for Collingwood to Shane O'Brien.
Well, they've been very brave, Collingwood. They've attacked this quarter with, I think, everything they've got. They've lifted their intensity and they controlled the footy for a fair part of the game. The opposition just looked very, very dangerous, and this will be a goal to Shane O'Brien. They won't go away, Collingwood. They just keep coming. And this man here is a very consistent player.
So should kick this. He's directly in front, only 20 metres out, Shane O'Brien. Bread and butter for a player of that skill, and he sticks it right through the middle. Let's get back to the action. It's Hawthorn by 21 as we start this third quarter. Here's Michael Christian, premiership player for Collingwood in 1990.
Campbell gets it down, chance for Lewis. Handball off to Campbell, Mitchell, and Hawthorn away again. They lead by 21. Very impressive in the opening half. Rioli can't quite get there. Falls over, gives O'Brien a chance, but brilliantly done by O'Reilly. Somehow got back onto the footy. Pinged O'Brien, but Reshaw was able to get it to Clark. His kick wasn't great. Turnover, Birchall, back to Mitchell. Loose player at half forward is Sewell. He's got support outside. Clinton Young will wind up from outside 50. A brilliant kick and goal. He's drilled it.
Osborne with the football at half back. Short to Campbell, and again running through the lines as Birchall kicks it inside 50. Whistle. It's a hold, and it's going against Hawthorn.
He's trying to get back, and you're holding him around.
It's a free kick to
In fact, it's a going against Collingwood. It's against Wakeland for a hold.
All you did is wrap him up.
Well, I thought he pointed the other way. Just wrapped him up, and there's a good shot at it. Gee, there wasn't much in that.
Well, for 149 years, that was all right.
Roughhead's got two. Now he's got three, and it's the biggest margin in the match.
When Buddy was inaccurate.
Yeah, kick 5 last week. It's a great foil, isn't it, for Franklin?
Wood beaten by Taylor, down to Mitchell, another clearance, inside attacking 50, Franklin!
Now, I just want to go back. We've seen this happen, which is all the forward wants.
Lance Franklin has kicked 3 behinds this afternoon, and his deliberate set shots at goal have been ordinary. This time it's close, it's home! He kicks one, that last!
Franklin's back in the forward 50. All the other Hawk forwards are up on the line.
And another clearance to Burns too. He's been good in his 250th game. Davis, can he weave some magic? No, he can't. He's run down. Umpire lets it go. Shaw's under the pump. Quick hands to Clark. He squeezes the kick out. It's a good one too to Thomas. At half forward, he backs himself and did it well against Ladson. Now an awkward kick, but it's a clever kick. Got to be a Collingwood goal here. Look here. We'll kick the goal. Well played, Maggies.
The whistle had sounded, so we'll do it all again. 45 metres from Collingwood's goal. Taylor again wins it. Lewis stolen by Wood. Oh, he almost threw it out to Burns. Out to Davis from 30. He measures it and drills it. So Collingwood with the last 2 goals brought the margin back to 26 points.
And Leon Davis, he is a dead-eye dick. 13 goals for this year. Well done by Wood to eventually free that ball up. Burns and Leon Davis, you don't have to give him too many opportunities for him to take advantage of it. Well done on the Magpies on bouncing back.
To take the spill. Swan, Davis slipped over. Wasn't a great kick. Favoured Brown, who handballs to Crawford. Crawford at centre half back delivers with pinpoint accuracy to McGlynn. Off to Jude, off to Ellis. Driving kick. Franklin one out here. He's got it again. Too good, Buddy Franklin.
He maximises his height. He didn't get off the ground there, but he stands upright. He puts the arms up straight. Have a look at him. Just a nice little bit of body work. Bang.
Could have got a free kick almost as well, Woolsey, for a grab on the jumper. And Mark Williams came in and just gave Nathan Brown a mouthful. They've got that bit of aggro and that bit of aggression about him.
He's kicked 1-4 from 20 metres. Comes in and kicks his second.
Most unsociable look.
I like it.
From goal. In fact, he throws it up the umpire. Fraser to Swan. Dispossessed. Fraser kicks it high to the goal square. Chance for Heath. Oh, it's a great mark. What's he doing down there? Now he's being tackled. Quite sure what the problem is. Brent Guerra pointing and...
Chris, the ball was touched off the boot by Jordan Lewis, clear as day. All the Hawthorn players heard it. The only bloke out there that didn't hear it was the umpire.
Okay, thanks, Andy. That's the reason for the confusion.
Did Heath Shaw push Stuart Dew out of the way?
Yes.
If he did, that is a worry. Have a look at the size of Dew.
Heath Shaw from 10 metres kicks a goal for the Magpies. So,
handballs backwards, about 30 metres to Osborne. Kick around the corner's got to be clean, and it is.
It was a big turnover there from Reece Shaw, wasn't it? He just fumbled the footy at centre wing. It was a crucial centre clearance. The hard bodies of Hawthorn, they just make that ball stick.
Franklin one out, 40 metres from goal.
He kicks in his direction. Brown got to the front and did well. Johnson has the kick smothered. Franklin has got his third.
Have a look at the, well, it's McGlynn who does the smother, then feeds the ball out to Buddy.
So Ellis is told to go. Just the 15, in fact, not even the 15, said the umpire. McGlynn also on the left. A long ball. It's a good kick to Osborne, who worked hard to make some space. Now he plays on straight away. Franklin. Williams behind. Takes the mark and is well within range.
Just catches the Collingwood defenders out.
2 goals straight to Mark Williams this afternoon. Twice Hawthorn's leading goal kicker. And he got his third, and the Hawks are back in control.
Feeds it off to Osborne, to Crawford. How many times have we seen this today? He squares it up into the corridor. Birchall. Davis did superbly just to affect the sport and kept his feet. Well played, Leon Davis. Now he's got a loose player at half forward. Kicks beyond that to a contest. Lockyer and Guerra. Well done, Guerra. Fists it to the line, and Crode can do the best to see it over. In fact, he concedes it behind and does very well. Good play there from Brent Guerra.
It's a behind. It's a behind, isn't it?
No, he's playing deliberate out of bounds here because he ran into the goalpost. I think the umpire... Well, this is a controversial decision,
I think he's saying he threw it over the line.
I think he's actually paying the throw.
Yeah, that he threw it over the line.
Okay, so we're going to look at it in just a moment, but Token Lockyer wheels around and kicks a goal for Collingwood. So Token Lockyer kicks.
Hawthorn by 31. Lockyer's got 3 goals. Campbell the tap. Wood sharked it. O'Brien fed it out to Burns, who's played a very, very good game in his 250th. Shaw, Reece, inside 50. Lockyer got rid of his opponents, and he's paid the mark. So well done, Tarkin Lockyer. Decides to square it up to Johnson. And the finger tipper. Ben Johnson hasn't troubled the scorers today. It's right through the middle. The Pies have narrowed the gap to 25. It really is game on.
Yeah. First goal vital in my book.
Crawford to McGlynn, and Young has found some space on centre wing, and he receives. On that raking left boot. That's a free kick or a mark, whatever you like. Well done by Campbell in the end.
He did very well, Robert Campbell, the ruckman, to push out there.
Oh, off the ball.
Yeah.
50 metres.
Hawthorn player down. Josh Fraser.
Put down McGlynn.
Well, we don't know what happened. All we saw was McGlynn go down.
No, I'm not saying it's anything harsh.
He's not normally an aggressive player like that, Josh Fraser. So if we can see it, let's see what happens. He's given him a bump.
That's pretty soft, I reckon, isn't it? I mean,
it's just a shepherd, isn't it?
Can't let him run past you and give no contest. I mean, he's taken a dive.
I'd be interested in hearing what the Geesh thinks about that. Is that acceptable or not?
So Campbell, important kick this one. 3 straight this year. He's put it through. Big goal for the Hawks.
And Goldsack's able to relieve the pressure, but a poor kick again. A couple of times Tyson Goldsack has turned it over this afternoon. Marked by Brown inside the corridor. Good mark taken low down by Campbell.
Robert Campbell's starring Luke. We give him a bit of a pump up and he said, well, I'll show you how good I am.
Big switch of play this. Crowed away with a bounce. Drives it long, deep to a vacant goal square. Franklin getting back along with Goldsack. Franklin, brilliant. Brilliant. 4 goals to Buddy. The umpire wants to wait for the all clear, but he'll get it. It's all over here.
He's a genius, isn't he, Buddy? And Mick Moldhouse just looking up at the screen saying, well, I think he said during the week you need a sledgehammer to stop Buddy, and it's about right. He's just so good in a one-on-one situation. The man that kicked it to him, Trent Crowe, I want to give him a big pump up today. He's absolutely smashed Travis Cloak. There's Buddy in the goal square. So good one-on-one.
Just his reach. Have a look at this. Pushes his opponent, grabs it, snaps it. A statue out at Waverley this week of John Kennedy Sr., the great Hawthorn player, coach, mentor. I would think that John Kennedy Sr. would love the way that this Hawthorn team plays.
So Brent Guerra goes for a bit of a stroll, gets past Medhurst, and just manages to get boot to ball, and that's brilliantly done to Jude, who can go on here, Jude. Will he have a ping at the goals? He doesn't.
Great kick.
He goes to Roughhead.
Such a good kick.
That is great football by the Hawks.
Really unselfish play by Stewie Jew. I mean, he could have blazed away quarters, and I think most of the crowd thought he would have, but that was just a perfect kick to a key forward. Everything going in the way of Jared Roughhead. When you've got a bloke that's so smart, and it just favoured Roughhead, who kicks the goal.
He's got his 4th, and the Hawks lead now by 40.
In this game, the Hawks in the first 15 minutes when Collingwood just couldn't get any ball in the central corridor.
Guerra cuts it off, and another turnover. Young to Ellis. Guerra had another good day. He looks exhausted. Mitchell pops one over the top to Crawford. Here come the Hawks again. Rioli. Franklin. Franklin on the left. Franklin's got 5. He is a star. Beautiful work, Brent Guerra down back. Franklin's got 5 goals. Roughhead's got 4.
Just classic Hawthorn play that. They set up the grid in the middle of the ground, the cluster, whatever you want to call it. They turn the footy over, and then they're back through the corridor every time. Mitchell takes the opposition onto Crawford, and it ends up with this man. He loves him round the corner. He's just a superstar.
You know, the Crawford handball to Cyril Rioli, that was a friendship handball, because I don't really think it was on. And he just realised that his little mate was having a...
So back in the centre, here they go again, Mitchell.
This bloke.
This is his 36th disposal for the game.
Uses the ball so well, this time into the path of Crawford. Left foot kick high, Franklin again. Well done by Brown this time, but he's well tackled by Rioli. Rioli somehow found the footy at ground level, shovels it to Lewis, sweeping handball, lets him from 30, there's another. Great stuff, Hawthorn. Margin out to 53, and you've sort of had the feeling all day that the floodgates were about to open, and they have now, and their irrepressible style of play has just been on full display in top gear in this final term.
They're an unselfish team, aren't they? They will give the ball to a teammate. There are no selfish individuals. If they can share it, they readily share it.
Alistair Clarkson, is it come at a good time? Do you want your players? They'll probably have 8 or 10 players play next week. Is that ideal?
I think the breaks come at a terrific time for Hawthorn. As we mentioned before, they've been on the road a lot. They've been up. They will have won 7 games, and they need to have a bit of a spell.
Rioli, what can he do? He sets up Roughhead. Roughhead's got it on the line. They are poleaxing the prize now, the Hawks.
Shane Crawford set Rioli up. He's gone over to young Rioli now. You can see that Rioli got that kick to Roughhead, but Shane Crawford has brought Rioli into this game, and I just love that.
And Crawford's coming off for a break.
39 from goal.
We've spoken about him a fair bit today. He said he's been out of touch and a bit quiet. I think he's got to play more minutes in the midfield. He's a fit aerobic runner from what I hear at Collingwood, so get him more time in the midfield.
Need to be in his best here, right on the edge of his kicking range. Hooks it into the pocket, and a good mark taken by Swan. Right on the boundary line, deep in the pocket. So Dane Swan who will come in for disposal number 21. It's been one of Collingwood's best.
Great crowd, Chris. 76,000.
Sensational. Swan around the body on the right boot, and he threads it. So good result there for the Magpies.
A mile in front, and he's not going to stop until the siren goes. Geez, had a good final quarter, Shane Crawford.
And he goes to the wing, and it's marked by Osborne. Little short one to Ellis. And he chips to Franklin, who's, dare I say it, too far out to score. And he'll be kicking from about
He might
58.
Score. He reckons he's a chance, Quarters. He's gone back and said to the umpire that's where the mark is, so he wants to know where that is. He's taken the mouth guard out.
Of course he reckons he's a chance. You put him in the centre square, he'd reckon he's a chance.
Well,
he'll kick it, I reckon.
I reckon he might too.
He's kicked 5 goals in the second half.
How many behinds? Because he averages 9 scores a game.
5-4.
He's already had his quota. He's already had his 9.
Well, he knows if he gets this, he'll go above his average.
It's a thumping kick.
50.
He'll go back 50 metres unless it's a goal.
Against Thomas, I think.
Yeah, it's a 50 against Thomas. Well, they carried the distance, no problems at all.
What did Thomas do? He went over the mark, did he?
Yeah, he just snuck over the mark.
I think he encroached. I mean, he wasn't the man on the mark. He just came within 5 metres, I think.
So 6 goals coming up for Buddy.
All in the second half.
And he slams it into the third tier.
Chance for Lewis. His handball intended for Osborne didn't quite get there, although Osborne somehow found the footy at ground level. O'Brien off to Davis. Handball to Ben Johnson, but under pressure. Cook just got away from the Osborne tackle and gave it off to Reece Shaw. He sweeps it wide. Davis, look out, just knocks it on instead to Didak, who hurriedly kicks it wide, and Heathshaw's got a camp underneath it. He does, and takes the mark on centre wing. Kick towards half forward now. Thomas is in the clear. Josh Fraser in support. He kicks to Lockyer, and he'll kick from 30 metres. Tarkin Hawthorn as Tarkin Lockyer prepares to kick for goal. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 this afternoon. Buddy Franklin coming off. That's the cheer you can hear as Lockyer kicks goal number 4 for himself. Franklin off the ground, but a goal to Collingwood.
To have someone who will just do the disciplined things and play them on the power forwards and know they'll do the job.
Swan inside 50, and that's a great mark taken by Maxwell. There we go, give another guy a rap. But it was a good mark taken by Maxwell. Well, he will line up for goal.
He will never stop trying, Nick Maxwell. And he's really playing out of position. I think his best spot is across the half-back line for Collingwood.
Maxwell hasn't had much of a day, and he kicks that goal, and a couple of consolation goals for Collingwood late in the piece.
Campbell to do battle against Woodward, wins this one. Coming in hard off the line though, Lewis. Back to Young. Well done, Clinton Young. Sweeping handball to the path of Sewell. Didn't get a great bounce, and Shaw's able to get onto the opportunity, but he gave it straight up to Rioli, off to McGlynn. Williams in a good spot here, couldn't quite hold on, but finds it at ground level. Mark Williams from 15 metres kicks goal number 4. So Franklin's kicked 6, Roughhead's kicked 5, and Mark Williams has kicked goal number 4. It is a potent attack, Rob Walls.
It is.
What do you think of the celebration, Rob?
I like the unselfishness there. Cyril gives it across to McGlynn. He sets it out towards the advantage side of Williams.
Wasn't quite the shotgun, but wasn't a bad celebration.
Let's have a look at him. The shotgun was banned, wasn't it? No, what's that mean?
He's kissing a couple of tats on his arms.
Most of them courtesy of Shane Crawford being unselfish and thinking.
38th touch to Sam Mitchell. His career high is 39. I think it was against Collingwood, actually. But Jared Roughhead's taken a very
Smart play for a young forward. Knows how to play the game, this bloke.
So Roughhead for goal number 6. Six to Roughhead, 6 to Franklin, 4 to Williams. Boy, what a day for the Hawk forwards.
As we near full time here, very impressive Hawthorn display, and even the coach can afford a smile And the laugh. Mitchell on the end of it again. And taken high, he'll get the free kick.
So this will be his career best. He's now up to 40 disposals. Chris Oates is a career high.
He just doesn't fumble, never makes a mistake.
Kicks it wide and on the lead. Williams again, too much speed.
Yeah, I just think Mick Malthouse will be really, really disappointed with the ease in which Hawthorn's been able to get their marks in their forward 50 and kick so many goals in this last quarter. And I reckon Mick Malthouse might also show his team, the opposition, smiling and laughing because it's become so easy.
59 points is the margin at the moment. That's the 7th win for Hawthorn in what's been a most impressive opening to season 2008. Williams to put the icing on the cake. He kicks his fifth. Hawthorn by 65 points at the MCG.